When Namakula first arrived at St. Florence High School, she was as quiet as the morning dew that settles on banana leaves. Her eyes spoke more than her lips ever did, and she walked with a kind of grace that made her stand out even without trying. The other girls often whispered about her. Some admired her calm nature, while others thought she was simply too proud. St. Florence was a mixed boarding school deep in the heart of Buganda, known for its strict discipline and no-nonsense teachers. The school motto, "Discipline is the key to success," hung on every wall like a silent warning. Love, especially between students, was a taboo. Anyone caught in a relationship was destined for humiliation and endless punishment. At first, Namakula kept to herself, but as weeks passed, she began to receive small folded letters, slipped under her desk or sometimes into her locker. They came with words so sweet they could melt a stone. "Your smile makes the sun jealous," one said. "You walk like the rhythm of a song I cannot forget," another one said. The letters became frequent, anonymous, mysterious, and thrilling. Every evening prep, her heart would race with curiosity, wondering who wrote them. But one fateful day, as a class monitor passed her yet another note, a strict teacher named Mr. Katongole intercepted it. He snatched it mid-air and demanded it to be read out loud. The poor boy delivering it trembled as he unfolded the paper. The class fell silent as he read the words. If only the rules could understand what the heart wants. Laughter erupted. The teacher's face darkened like a storm cold. Both the messenger and Namakula were punished, made to scrub the entire school compound till sunset. Yet even after that, neither revealed who had written the note. Little did anyone know that this was just the beginning of a story that would echo in the corridors of St. Florence High School for years. One crisp morning, as Namakula arranged her books in the library, a folded piece of paper fell from between the pages of her notebook. Her hands trembled slightly as she opened it. Inside was a letter that began, "Dear Namakula, I have written many times, but I couldn't reveal myself until now." It was signed Bukenya. Bukenya was 2 classes ahead, tall, dark, with eyes that carried both kindness and mystery. He was the kind of boy who played football with passion and spoke respectively to everyone. Namakula had secretly admired him from afar since her first term. Now knowing he was the one behind the heartfelt letters, her heart nearly burst with joy. That evening, as the sun painted the sky orange, they met by the school's mango tree near the fence, where the scent of ripe fruit filled the air. Their voices were low, nervous but sincere. It was there they made a silent pact to love even if the school forbade it. Their love blossomed quietly at first, glances in the dining hall, quick smiles during assemblies, and tiny notes hidden in textbooks. But soon, it was impossible to hide. Bukenya would buy her chapati and soda from the school canteen every break time, and he made sure she never went hungry, even when she skipped the school meals she disliked. Soon, rumors began to spread like wildfire. Their names were whispered in corridors, scrambled on dorm walls, and finally read aloud during Monday assembly. Namakula and Bukenya are warned for coupling, the head teacher thundered. The crowd gasped and giggled, but instead of shame, Namakula felt something else. Defiance. The punishment came swiftly. They were made to sweep the school compound for a week, clean the latrines, and even scrub classroom walls. Teachers called them examples of what love does to young minds. But every punishment only made their bond stronger. During prep, they would exchange smiles across the room. On weekends, they met secretly near the banana plantation at the edge of the school. When the holidays came, they lied to their parents about having group discussions. Instead, they met in town, sharing roasted maize and laughter by the roadside. Bukenya was warned that his grades would fall, that love would ruin his future. but he only smiled and said, "Love does not destroy focus, it gives it purpose." The teachers grew frustrated. Some called his parents, others threatened suspension, but nothing worked. The two young hearts had found something pure, something that the rules of St. Florence couldn't silence. Still, behind the beauty of their bond lingered fear. Fear of separation, fear of failure, fear of the uncertain tomorrow. But as Bukenya always said, if love is true, it finds a way. When Bukenya reached his final year, the pressure mounted. The teachers believed that his relationship with Namakula would make him fail his advanced level exams. The whispers grew louder. Students teased, teachers sighed, and even the head teacher shook his head in disbelief. But Bukenya studied harder than before. Namakula supported him quietly, often slipping notes of encouragement into his books. She prayed for him, fasted for him, and believed in him more than anyone else did. Months later, when the results were released, St. Florence High School erupted with joy. Bukenya had emerged the best student in the entire school. His name was printed in newspapers, and for the first time, even the head teacher smiled with pride. Wow, so our Bukenya has done it. And you, Namakula, I now name you the First Lady of St. Florence High School. Students laughed and cheered. From that day, First Lady became her nickname, both a tease and a title of pride. He left the school soon after, but his footsteps never fed. Every term he returned, bringing small gifts for Namakula, waiting by the school fence, sometimes visiting her during visiting days. Their love had become a living legend. When Namakula finally sat for her own final exams 2 years later, she too performed well. On her last day at St. Florence, she stood under the same mango tree where their love began, and Bukenya was there waiting, just like before. He took her hand and said softly, "We broke rules, but we followed our hearts, and sometimes that's the truest kind of success." And so, their love became a story passed down at St. Florence High School, a forbidden love that survived punishments, ridicule, and fear. A love that taught everyone that while rules can bind the body, they can never imprison the heart. If you enjoyed this story of Namakula and Bukenya, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more African love tales and folk tales. Thank you for watching.